Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you love to solve a mystery, you've come to the right place. Grab yourself a pen and paper and together we're going to look at mysteries and try to solve them. My name is Beth MacIntosh. I'm a physical medium in the same way that physical media transmits data in data communications. I have seen apparitions and visions since I was a child. Victims of crime send me downloads of information that give me the facts of every case. Let me show you how this works. When you send a message, a text message or picture or video from this mobile device to another device, you do not see the pictures or words float in the air and land on the chosen device. Instead, you take for granted that the images and words magically appear from one device to the other. It's the same with mediumship. I can see the data better if I wear a blindfold, similar to a virtual reality mask. It has to be the truth. So through the power of God, I ask for His truth, the ultimate truth and wisdom. I invite you to write down clues and facts and piece together what we believe happened in every case. I like to upload 3 videos per week, so please subscribe and help my channel grow. Enter comments below, but please be respectful of other people's comments and keep this an engaging and respectful channel. Thank you so much. So, let's get into today's mystery. Welcome back, guys. So this is the mystery of the sinking of the cruise liner, the Lusitania. I chose this mystery because there are so many unanswered questions surrounding the sinking of this ship. What struck me was that this tragedy was only 3 years after the sinking of the Titanic. Passengers were already nervous of transatlantic crossings, and the circumstances surrounding the voyage of the Lusitania are very strange indeed. Cunard was a private company who owned both the Lusitania and the Mauretania. However, few members of the public realised that financial assistance had been given by the British Admiralty to construct these vessels. Cunard therefore owed a debt to the Admiralty, and part of this debt was that in times of war, these cruise liners must be used for military operations. The public were also unaware that the Lusitania had more than just a cargo of men, women and children. It was carrying a cargo of 173 tons of munitions and ammunition from America to England, all in the cause of the First World War. In 1915, British ships were used to blockade food arriving for the German people, and the food shortages were hurting. Germany launched a U-boat campaign to target any British ships that they considered were contributing to the war and blockade, and announced a new war zone around the UK and Ireland. They felt they had the rightful and legal authority to attack merchant ships that may be carrying ammunition. The Germans were aware that the Lusitania was listed as a merchant ship that could be used in war. They did not know, however, for sure that the Lusitania was carrying such a large amount of arsenal. Lusitania was headed for Liverpool, right in the heart of the war zone, where Cunard and the government knew U-boats would be sailing. Germany issued an advertisement in 50 newspapers in America, specifically warning transatlantic passengers of the Lusitania not to make the crossing to Liverpool, as the vessel may be targeted and torpedoed. The message read, "Notice, travellers intending to embark on the Atlantic voyage are reminded that a state of war exists between Germany and her allies and Great Britain and her allies, that the zone of war includes the waters adjacent to the British Isles, that, in accordance with formal notice given by the Imperial German government, vessels flying the flag of Great Britain or any of her allies are liable to destruction in those waters, and that travellers sailing in the war zone on the ships of Great Britain or her allies do so at their own risk. Imperial German Embassy, Washington, D.C., 22nd of April, 1915. Was this a hoax? Passengers weren't sure, but trusting Cunard and the British Navy, they boarded the Lusitania and made their way across the seas. As the Lusitania approached Ireland, the communication between the British Admiralty and the ship's captain seems to have become a little fuzzy. To this day, secret documents relating to the communication between the Admiralty and the Lusitania are kept confidential and are unavailable to the public. The British Admiralty already knew the location of U-20, the German U-boat that had already taken out some civilian ships in Southern Ireland. The U-boat messages were being intercepted, so British intelligence had advance warning of U-boat movements. Naval fleet and destroyers were immediately removed from the area, but the Lusitania was headed straight for the danger zone. The set course was to sail around Southern Ireland and head up towards its final destination in Liverpool. The better and safer course would have been northwards, around Northern Ireland, and safely reach Liverpool this way. But neither Cunard or the Admiralty gave this instruction. Conspiracy theories suggest that the British government deliberately allowed the Lusitania to sail towards danger. There were American passengers on board the ship. If the German U-boat attacked the ship, then this might encourage America to join forces and become an ally in fighting the Germans. It was suggested that Winston Churchill, Lord Admiral of the Navy at the time, was party to this conspiracy. I needed to know if this was true. So in vision, I was shown the following. I saw a model of the ship located on an operation board in a naval operations room. The model ship was in southern Irish waters. Someone with a wooden stick poked the model ship backwards, and I heard the word hindsight. The stick pushed the ship into reverse to change course. I felt enormous regret that they had not instructed the ship, in hindsight, to change course and sail northwards around Northern Ireland and then on to Liverpool. I was told that they would not, under any circumstances, send a naval destroyer to defend the Lusitania. This would have put both vessels in danger. So guys, it was not deliberate. There was regret, and in hindsight they accept that they should have directed the Lusitania away from danger. The Lusitania could do 25 knots, which was double the speed of a U-boat, which could only manage around 11 knots. This overconfidence was a factor in the complacency, but on the approach of southern Irish waters, the Lusitania reduced its speed to only 15 knots. Why was this? In vision, I was shown the following. I was on the bridge with the captain and the second officer. Someone dropped the speed to 15 knots, and we all looked out of the window. I could not see a thing due to thick fog. No sky, no sea, just white, dense fog. Suddenly, a seagull smashed against one of the windows and caught by surprise by the vessel. This was an indication that the birds of the sea could not see where they were going either. So Guy's thick fog was the reason for the speed of the ship to be reduced. Finally, the German commander of U-20, Walter Schweiger, was adamant in the German inquiry into the incident that only one torpedo had been fired. It was not enough to sink such a large ship. However, when the British inquiry was conducted 1 month after the sinking of the Lusitania, the inquiry concluded that 2 or even 3 torpedoes had been used, and this is why it took only 18 minutes for the ship to sink. Was this true? Was it 1, 2 or 3 torpedoes that struck the Lusitania? The row continued for years. Did the British government blame Germany for breaching cruiser rules and targeting cruise liners with civilian passengers on board? The German government blamed the UK for breaching cruiser liner rules by carrying ammunition. As only 1 torpedo had been used, the second explosion had to have been ammunition, which in turn allowed the ship to sink so fast. So guys, my last question was, how many torpedoes struck the Lusitania? Who was telling the truth? In vision, I was shown the following. I saw the U-boat underwater, and from the front of the submarine I could see 2 torpedo chambers. One chamber released a torpedo. The second chamber had a large red cross symbolically marked across the chamber's entrance, as if this was a no entry sign. I then saw the captain holding a second torpedo safely under his left arm. I heard under my wing. He then kissed a word that was written on the torpedo. The word he kissed was home. He then placed his right hand onto a Bible. His last words to me were, "There was only one." In conclusion, a total of 1,198 passengers and crew lost their lives in the disaster. Although it caused international outrage, America did not enter the war until 2 years later, when American ships were being targeted by the Germans. This tragedy is full of if-onlys, but in conclusion, the Lusitania should have changed course. Keeping them on course was not deliberate, but was a huge regret after the event. Only 1 torpedo was fired, leaving us to conclude that the second explosion was the cargo of ammunition on board. So that's it guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Hope you're enjoying these mysteries. Please add comments below if you wish to do so. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video and share the next mystery with you. Bye for now.